Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to the video. My name is Daraloth. I appreciate you being here. Today's deck is going to be a veteran deck that I have kind of been working on for a little while now. I originally planned to release it on some kind of holiday like Veterans Day, for example. That's the name of the deck, but um, yeah, it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to play it today because I was asking what people were interested in, and this is the one that got the most votes on the poll on my community tab. So this is the one that we're going to do. Um, Veterans Day is a really interesting deck. I'm trying to do something different with it from normal veteran, where I've added High Hrothgar to try to make it more of a uh, defensive yet assault heavy deck. Because the thing with the veteran effect is that you want to be hitting creatures and then those creatures to survive to get the effect. So most of the veteran creatures have pretty high health totals, like Dunmer Tyro, I think it's pronounced Tyro or Tiro. Um, The Invoker of the Hist is a really good option here. The Black Marsh Centurion, they all have really high health totals, so that works really well just naturally with High Hrothgar. And then when you combine that with something like the Mournhold Taskmaster here, things can really get out of control. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to read every single card like I usually do. If you want to skip this part, you won't hurt my feelings. I totally get it. But we're going to start out with Scout's Report. So Scout's Report is a one cost action. Look at the top card of your deck. You may discard it, draw a card. So this will just help us kind of dig through our deck, get to stuff that we want to get quicker. When you're running a 75 card deck, it's important to have some cards that you can at least draw a little bit with. That way you can get to your goal quicker. Ungalim the Listener. Ungalim, summon, shuffle 3 Brotherhood Assassins into your deck. Ungalim's pretty cool. He's a very unique creature in the sense that he shuffles more stuff into your deck. The Brotherhood Assassins are really good. They're 3/3s with lethal, and they also draw a card for you. So he pretty much propagates our draw engine a little bit further by putting those cards into our deck. Aldvalath the Assassin, it's a staple of endurance creatures. It's a 1/2 rally with lethal, and it's just really helpful to have around. It's very intimidating, and the fact that it can be put on the board so early is very devastating in some matchups when you get that down on turn 2. Barrowstalker is another staple of purple. I'd be happy to draw either an Aldvalathi Assassin or a Barrowstalker on turn 2. Barrowstalker, it's got the Drain and Guard, and it's a 2/3. The thing with Barrowstalker is that it can be helpful into the late game, same thing with Aldvalathi Assassin, or very helpful in the early game. Because of that guard, it can block up a lane completely, but because of the drain, it can help you get a head start on your opponent in health total at the beginning. So either way is helpful with that. Fighters Guild Recruit, kind of in the same boat. Ideally, you want to draw this on Prophecy, but putting it down normally is not really a problem at all. It's a 2 cost creature with a 1/2 stat line, but it has lethal, so the 1 damage doesn't really mean anything unless we get silenced, or we're dealing with an Ayleid Guardian or something like that. But Fighters Guild Recruit, really good card. Everybody knows about it, so just gonna keep on going. Green Pact Ambusher, it's a 2 cost. It's a 4/1 prophecy card with guard. So this is one of the cards in the deck that has a really low health total. If you were looking at Aldvalathi, Barrowstalker, Fighters Guild, I tried to include creatures that have at least a little bit more health than they do damage. That way we're at least getting some benefit from High Hrothgar in the end if we can get that to stay up. But if not, it's totally fine anyway. But Green Pact Ambusher would be kind of devastating to have down if we have a High Hrothgar as well, because it would turn it into a 1/1 guard. So this is one of the cards that it's going to be a little bit difficult to work with, but I still really like this card, and I like having at least 9 prophecies in a deck like this. I feel like 9 to 12 is a really good number to have to aim for, and Green Pact is just really fun, especially if you can Galen some in. So the 4/1 Prophecy Guard, and it's got a special text. So at the end of your opponent's turn, if they have a full lane and Green Pact Ambusher is in your hand, summon her to that lane. So she can be played as a prophecy basically from your hand, which is really nice. It doesn't take any magicka, it's just you play her down for free. So really cool card. Pact Oathman. So this is one of the cards that I feel like most of the time people don't include this in their Ebonheart lists because they're doing Ebonheart Slay or something, and this doesn't really fit in with that very well. But I wanted to use it in this list, and I think that it's really fun. So the summon is if you have an agility card in play, it's +2/+0 to the Pact Oathman, and if you have an endurance card in play, the Pact Oathman will battle an enemy creature. Now, something that's really interesting about Pact Oathman is that if we have High Hrothgar down, it will instantly do the agility effect by making Pact Oathman a 3/3. So really all that we need down is a High Hrothgar because that will satisfy the battle effect with the purple, and it will instantly do the agility effect by itself. So Pact Oathman, really cool. We can kind of skip it under the right conditions, but there's also a lot of cards that we run that are agility in this list. So it should be proccing both of them pretty easily. The Thieves Guild Recruit here, this is another version of Draw. It is also a little bit higher in defense than it is in health. Summon is draw a card. If it costs 7 or more, reduce its cost by 1. So the Thieves Guild Recruit will be getting very minimal value from that secondary effect of reducing cost because the only things that go higher in this list than 7 are the Red Brahmin and the Red Year. But other than that, Thieves Guild Recruit is a really solid option if you just need to draw anything at all. I'm only running 2 copies of them, but that's because there's a lot of stuff that I'm trying to fit into this list. So there's a couple cards that took a bit of a tank by dropping the card total from 3 to 2. So Thieves Guild Recruit is uh, one of those kind of cards that got affected, I guess. Bruma Armorer here. So when you summon another creature, give it +0/+2. The Bruma Armorer here is going to work really well with our High Hrothgar. We used the Bruma Armorer in the Surviving Wizard deck that I did months ago at this point, but Bruma Armorer is going to be a little bit more viable in this deck. I feel like this deck as a whole, it's not as memey as the Tribunal one was, but it's definitely, I don't want to talk trash about the Surviving Wizard deck. It is actually more viable than you would expect. But yeah, Bruma Armorer here, we have a lot of creatures that naturally have a lot of health. So Bruma Armorer just giving them more health is going to work wondrously. And then if we have the High Hrothgar, the Bruma Armorer will work first, and then the High Hrothgar will proc. So if we have a East Empire Crafter, then this thing will boost the East Empire Crafter to a 2/6, and then High Hrothgar will make it a 6/6. That's kind of the load order there that our cards will be working in. So keep that in mind whenever you're playing with these cards. They work really well together. And we're going to move on to the Dunmer Tyro. So this guy has charge. He's also got veteran +2/+0. So the most ideal thing to do with this guy is to kill a very low health creature or to just hit your opponent right in the face, and then you'll bump him up to a 3/4 for the next turn. Again, if we have High Hrothgar down on the board, this thing will become an instant 4/4, and then if we get the veteran effect to proc, it will become a 6/4. So High Hrothgar really adds a lot of value to many of these creatures in the deck. East Empire Crafter. Okay, this one's really interesting. So when you summon another creature with 5 health or more, you give it +1/+1 and guard. So it works again after the Bruma Armorer. So if we have a Dunmer down and it's a 1/4, Bruma Armorer makes it a 1/6, then the East Empire Crafter would make it a 2/7 because it would add the 1/1 and guard. So you follow me so far? Anyway, after all that has happened, then the High Hrothgar can proc and it can make it a 7/7. So really just a crazy combo that we're hoping to get off. High Hrothgar usually gets deleted pretty easily, but if any of this does wind up happening, it'll be amazing. And this is my 5th iteration of this deck. I've had stuff like this happen quite a bit in this deck, so it is possible, I promise. Okay, Forerunner of the Pact. So the veteran ability of Forerunner of the Pact is that you draw a Forerunner of the Pact from your deck. So the Forerunner of the Pact here is pretty cool. It does get a negative bonus from High Hrothgar, unless of course we're able to get a Bruma Armorer to buff it a little bit, but High Hrothgar will lower it to becoming a 3/3. But even still, just the resource generation here, it technically counts as another draw card along with Thieves Guild Recruit and Ungolem and Scouts Report and all that. Um, so Forerunner, really cool, helps us dig through our deck a little bit more and get more intimidating creatures out on the board. It's also a full Ebonheart card, so it has strength, agility, and endurance, so that way we'll be able to proc our Pact Oathman if we have this out. Galen the Shelterer here. So choose a creature or item in your hand, shuffle 3 copies of it with +3/+3 into your deck. Galen's really cool. He will again buff up the defense of some of our creatures. So if we say use Galen on our Dunmer guy here, those guys in our deck will become 4/7s, and then the same thing if we have a Bruma Armorer, it will become uh, what is it, a 4/9, and then the East Empire Crafter will make it a 5/10, and then the High Hrothgar will make it a 10/10. So that should be, I think I did all my math right there. It was quick in my head, but um, that's essentially one of the really cool things that Galen could do in this deck to help us get along. But also just shuffling stuff in like Dishnikyal Archers or Shadowfen Priests is also going to be very helpful. All right, Mummify. So I low-key really don't like Mummify, but I think that it's a really good card, and I'm trying to make this deck a little bit more viable. Prophecy, transform a creature into a 2/2 Shriveled Mummy. So this essentially is unconditional removal, in the sense that it will, unconditionally get rid of something from the game. Not only does it banish a creature, in most cases it replaces it with a creature that's worse, and it's unstoppable. Basically, it has prophecy too, so you're never really safe from from having Mummify used against you. But that's kind of the gambit that we run with this game. There's a lot of overpowered stuff, as I talked about in my latest video. So, also, I apologize to any of the Russian viewers. I'll mention this later on because I know a lot of people skip ahead, but uh, the video that I did with the Uriel Septim Joker thing, it's not about money. That video is blocked in Russia because of the song that I used in it, and I don't really know a way around that. So, apologies to anyone watching in Russia. Um, but yeah, so Mummified, it's a crazy card. That's the bottom line. It's really good removal, and we kind of needed a little bit of removal in this deck, so Mummify fit the bill. All right, Tree Minder. Tree Minders are a really solid card. They help bump our Magicka up. They're 3-cost creatures with guard, and they are only at 1/1, but they're really not. The stat line of the Tree Minder is not what you run it for. It's the fact that it boosts your Magicka and provides a guard. And that's really all that it matters for. So it's a really good card, very fair stat line for the most part. It's a very shitty guard, but it's at kind of a lower cost and it has a really good effect. I'm only running 2 of them because we've got other cards that can boost our Magicka up, so we shouldn't need all 3. And they don't really provide a bonus with the High Hrothgar, but I wanted something a little bit more defensive as well, so that way we could take time to set ourselves up. Blackwood Distiller. So these guys are 3/4s. They have Pilfer, gain 3 Magicka this turn, and Slay, gain 1 max Magicka. I would expect that we at least get one of these guys to do something in this deck, given the fact that we have 3 of them, and they can usually get a Pilfer off or a Slay off whenever you're playing. So that's why I wanted to maximize our chances of them, uh, hitting or killing a creature. And yeah, I think they're just very solid cards to help us get where we're going because we do have, if you're looking at the curve here, we do have a lot of cards that are 4s, 5s, 6s. So if we can get a Blackwood Distiller down early, we can get access to some of these cards earlier than we usually would. Dishnikyal Archer, we have 2 of these guys. They've got Guard, Summon, deal 1 damage, or destroy an enemy support. Dishnikyal Archers are really great. They're basically used for support removal, but again, like I always say, that 1 extra damage can really come in handy sometimes. Sometimes your opponent has a creature that's at 1 health, you just pop that and then you can win the game. Other times your opponent is at 1 health and you just drop a Dishnikyal Archer down and you kill them instantly and win. So, very cool card for the utilities that it provides. I do only run 2 of them because I also run 2 Shadowfen Priests. This is something that I like to do when I run warrior decks. That way we don't have to have 6 ways of removal. We can have 4 split between 2 equally good creatures. So that's, I don't know if it's a tip necessarily, but that's just something that I like to do in any decks that include the warrior colors. Fell the Mighty here is a really fun card. Destroy a creature with 4 power or more. This is maybe my favorite version of removal because it's somewhat conditional in the fact that the creature needs to have 4 power or more. So, for instance, you can't get rid of a Aldvala the Assassin or an Ungolem with a Fell the Mighty. You have to kind of choose it based on the threat level of the target that you're trying to attack. And you have to choose the correct time to do that too, because if you just use these things willy-nilly, like let's say that your opponent plays a Night Shadow and you're like, oh, this would be a perfect target for my Fell the Mighty. You use that, and then the next turn they throw down a Dark Seducer, you're going to be regretting the fact that you used your Fell the Mighty already. So, kind of a fun card. Really interesting removal. It's a little bit more big brained than some of the other ones, and I think that it's fun that it's in red as well. High Hrothgar I've talked a ton about, so I'm going to skip. Histgrove. So we only run 3 supports in this deck. We run 1 High Hrothgar and then 2 copies of Histgrove. So Histgrove is Summon +1 max magicka at the start of your turn. If you have 15 or more max magicka, sacrifice this to summon an 8/8 Swamp Leviathan in each lane. This will kind of go crazy if we have an East Empire Crafter out, which is one of the synergies that I was thinking of. Same thing with Bruma Armorers and High Hrothgar. They can all buff these guys up to essentially like 11/11s if the right conditions are met. And I think that's crazy. So I wanted to at least provide a chance for that to happen in this deck. Again, that's why there's only two. I didn't think that 3 Hist Groves was necessary. This does make it so that way we have to at least get one kill with a Blackwood Distiller to pop our Hist Grove off, which is something to keep in mind when you play this. And maybe you could make your own version where you drop out one Blackwood Distiller and you throw in another Hist Grove. But the thing about Hist Groves is that they're kind of a dead draw most of the time. You need to find a lull in the game to play these on because they don't do anything immediately. It's not like playing a Corsair ship where you at least get a little bit of tempo by having a Corsair come out onto the board. Hist Groves, they just cost 4 Magicka and then they sit there for a while. So having 3 of them isn't always the best thing to do, at least in my opinion. Moving on to Martin Septim, I thought Martin fit really well in this deck since he has such a obscure stat line with the 3/7, which can, again, work really well with High Hrothgar. At the start of your turn, gain all unspent Magicka from your last turn. When you have 30 or more Magicka, Martin Septim changes into a 30/30 Avatar of Akatosh. I know there's one video on my channel, I'm not sure which one it is, where I actually got Martin to proc off, which was really fun. I love seeing Martin proc, it's really fun. I think that him being a scout card and having this effect has always been weird to me because I feel like Martin Septim thematically fits better in like a willpower kind of deck, or maybe even Crusader. I don't know. But I don't know. Stat line, colors aside, I think it's a really cool card. Also, I don't know if anyone has ever noticed this about this card, but if you zoom in, it looks like he's a high elf with with where he's positioned next to that altar, and I really, really hate the art for this card, unfortunately. It's just a little bit not all there. I wish we had an alternate art version, but it is what it is. So Martin, that's him. He usually dies, but if you get him to stay around, he's a lot of fun. Okay, Mournhold Taskmaster. So this card is crazy. It's a 5/4 for 4. It's got all the Ebonheart colors, and friendly creatures with veteran have charge. So we already have one veteran creature that already does this naturally, the Dunmer over here. But for the rest of them, having charge is really crazy, especially if we have any of these 3 creatures out, the Bruma Armorer, the East Empire, or High Hrothgar. So any of them getting charge immediately with their high stat lines means that most of the time they'll be able to survive and they'll be able to instantly get their veteran effect, which will negatively affect our opponent, which I'm happy with. So like a Pact Shieldbreaker here, which is the next card we're going to talk about anyway, its veteran effect is that your opponent's actions cost 4 more next turn. So if you can get this guy down immediately, pop something off, it could prevent your opponent from playing a Piercing Javelin on anything the next turn. If you get, let's say, a Mournhold Taskmaster on turn 4, and then you play a Pact Shieldbearer on turn 5, your opponent can no longer uh, edict you or javelin you or banish effect you basically. So really cool card combo with this guy. I think it's a borderline busted card, but it's really fun. And it's like the veteran effect isn't too crazy to the fact where Mournhold Taskmaster in my eyes is completely overpowered, but it's maybe lower its stat line a little bit from 5/4 to like a 4/4 even could be reasonable. Uh, anyway, so you're in the Scald King here. This guy, I really don't know how to feel about his voice actor in ESO. He's very bizarre. It's Peter Stormare, I believe, is his name, and he's got a very unique way of speaking. That aside, he's also a full Ebonheart card. He's a 5/5 for 5, and he has a bunch of effects. So the first one is that he is immune to silence, which is cool. The second one is that friendly creatures cost 1 less. We have 62 creatures in our deck, 65 with the 3 creatures that Ungolem shuffles in, and then, with Galen, he'll shuffle in a few more. So Yorin the Scald King is going to be discounting a lot of stuff in our deck. And he has that enemy non-creatures cost 1 more. So combo Yorin with Pact Shieldbearer here, your opponent's going to be paying a lot for actions if all of these guys are on the board at the same time. Yoren's really fun. He's the leader of the Ebonheart Pact in Elder Scrolls Online, and he's a very interesting character, so I'm glad to be able to put him in a deck whenever I can. Yoren's Vanguard. These I only run two of. They're another veteran creature in our deck, so they're 5 cost, 4/4s. The veteran effect is +2/+2 and give the top creature of your deck +2/+2. You can see again how this combos really nicely with our High Hrothgar, with our Bruma Armorer, and with our East Empire Crafter. So essentially everything that is a low cost creature gets affected really well by the two Yoren's Vanguards that we have in our deck. And it's a good target for Galen. Any of these things that have 2 costs are usually good, or at least decent targets for Galen. I tried to make everything in this deck at least combo with something else in the deck, so that's kind of the combo there between all those different cards. And Yoren's Vanguard, very solid, but didn't want to put too many in the deck. Packed Outcast. So this was one of the reasons that I made the deck, because I had never played with this card. It was from the Tamriel collection, and I'd always thought that its effect was very bizarre. So the Packed Outcast here, it has Guard. It's a 5/5 for 5, and it's a full Ebonheart card. It has Consume a creature. Then Packed Outcast uses the consumed creature's veteran ability. And this is the summon and the veteran effect. So you can basically proc off, what is it, 4 veteran effects, 3 or 4, because you summon it, it does a veteran. Then, or you summon it, it consumes a veteran creature to gain its effect. So that's 1. You get the veteran effect off for this creature, and then it activates another veteran effect creature. So it's 3 veteran effects in 1 card, which is pretty cool, especially if it's a card in your discard pile that you didn't get to use. So if my Invoker of the Hist died, for instance, then I could just simply do that effect without ever having to hit my opponent by consuming it right away. It's really weird. It kind of negates what Veteran does, because Veteran is supposed to be you survive a turn after doing damage. But Packed Outcast kind of completely flips that around and says, well, I'm just going to eat anything from the discard pile that didn't get a chance to survive, and then we're going to do it that way. Which is a really interesting combo to me, because it removes discard pile shenanigans from being an option in these kind of decks. And I'm not a big fan of pulling stuff out of the discard pile over and over again. I think it's a little bit of a cheap way to play. So Packed Outcast for me works pretty well, especially with the guard. It provides a bunch of utility, and it's a very interesting, unique way to play with the veteran effect. So it gets a gold star from me. I think it's unique. Shadowfen Priest here. Shadowfen Priest is really, really good. We used it in the last video. I will use it in another video in the future, I'm sure. It's the Dushnikyal Archer of Endurance, in the sense that it has 2 abilities that you must choose from, and one of them can one of them can destroy a support. The other one can silence another creature. It's got the 4/4 stat line. It doesn't provide guard like Dushnikyal Archer does, but it does have a higher cost and a higher stat line, so it's arguably better than Dishnik but it doesn't provide the guard, so you have to pick your battles. Again, I like to put both of them in. Thorn Mage. Oh, never mind. I was totally forgetting that I had Thorn Mages. So you don't have to proc a Blackwood Distiller. You just have to get a few Thorn Mages down. My bad. In order to get the Hist Groves to activate. I don't know why I said that earlier. I just totally forgot about these guys. So Thorn Mage, it's another guard that we have in our deck. The summon is that you gain 1 Max Magicka, and you gain +1/+0 when your Max Magicka increases. So we'll have a bunch of options to boost our Max Magicka up, like I discussed before, and that will allow our Thorn Mages to kind of skyrocket and get really big. If we have a High Hrothgar out, I feel like I'm being very redundant saying this, but obviously it will become a 4/4 and then a 5/4 as soon as you play it. Or perhaps it will become a 3/4 and then it will become a 4/4. I'm not sure. We'll have to test it out in game. The Blackmarsh Centurion here is a really fun veteran creature. It's a 4/8, and the veteran effect is simply that it gains guard. I really like this card. I think it's a very, very aggressive card when you combo it with High Hrothgar and the Mournhold Taskmaster here. It can be just at 8/8 with charge, which is crazy. So can really tumble out of control. And Blackmarsh Centurion, even if you don't proc the veteran, is pretty good. But ideally, you be able to proc it. It is kind of useless when the Packed Outcast consumes it from the discard pile, but because Packed Outcast already has guard, but that's just a minor, not even issue, but something to keep in mind. We also run Gortwog in this deck. Gortwog, King of the Orcs in Daggerfall. I believe Daggerfall the game, not Daggerfall the location. At the start of your turn, summon a random creature from your deck to a random lane. Anything that we could summon would probably be good. I'd say maybe the worst thing that we could summon is a Red Brahmin, or yeah, probably Red Brahmin, because we want to be able to really plan where we use that. But anything else, I think I'd be okay with pulling out with the Gortwog. So Gortwog fits pretty well in the deck. He's got also the big defensive stat line, which will benefit from everything else that I've already discussed. So that's Gortwog. He's a really fun unique. Invoker of the Hist, again, really big stat line, and the veteran effect is that you restore your magicka. So whatever your magicka was at, Invoker of the Hist will bring it back to that at the start of the turn. Interestingly enough, if you have a Martin Septim out, he can overfill your magicka. So you could start a turn with like 24 out of 17 magicka. If you use all 24 of your magicka that turn and then you play an Invoker of the Hist, it won't bring you back to 24, it'll bring you back to that cap at 17 that you were at before. Which I found while I was testing this deck. I posted it on Reddit, so maybe I'll be able to pull that clip and show you here, but it's a very interesting combo. They don't really work too well together, but at the same time they work very well because Martin will allow you to get a bunch of magicka and at least get some of it back. So yeah, Invoker, really cool. Works really well with the Packed Outcast consumability and works really well with the charge effect that the Taskmaster will provide. Red Brahmin here, I discussed a little bit. Its summon is that it silences and shackles all enemy creatures in the lane. So it's a very good defensive tool to slow your opponent down and stop them for a turn, silence anything that they're working on. It's pretty good against Invade, although it doesn't silence the portal itself because the portal is immune to silence. But Red Brahmin, very cool card. It halts aggro, and we'll be able to get access to him pretty easily because we've got these uh, Magicka improving cards, I guess, is the word I was looking for. And then finally, the Red Year. So the Red Year deals 10 damage to each creature on the board. I always like to throw this thing in my strength decks whenever I can because it's a really fun board wipe and it just sets the slate clean. Yeah, no, it sets the slate clean whenever you play it. So that's the deck. I hope that you guys enjoyed listening to me rant and ramble the other day when I posted the video about balance. I don't know. I had a lot that I wanted to speak about, so that video is almost at 1,000 views. I really appreciate anyone who liked it, shared it, or commented on it, or even just watched it. You guys are all much appreciated, and thank you guys for sticking around even after I uh, might have dunked on some of your favorite cards. So let's get into it. I'll see you guys on the other side. Okay, we're up against ENG Christopher with an F instead of a PH. ENG Christopher is the perfect. They are on Battle Mage, and I think this is a perfectly reasonable hand to keep. Currently drinking Coors Light. Ooh, okay, so he is on something aggressive. I think I'm just going to get this down now. Not that this is the most intimidating thing in the world, but if he gets an item put onto it, it could be a problem. So we'll get ahead of that by challenging it. Yeah, I have a 4-day weekend. I'd imagine a lot of Americans do as well because it is Labor Day weekend coming up. Throw that down, and I'll just play the Scouts report for now. We definitely want that guy because he's a part of a lot that we're trying to do. Hmm. Yeah, definitely on some aggressive type stuff. Our Packed Shield Bearer should be really good to challenge this. Ooh. I can't do anything with these two. That's very upsetting. Let's rally first. Okay, so we get on the Bruma Armorer, which can take care of a Morkul Gatekeeper, but I'd imagine he has another either Gatekeeper or, I don't know, some sort of item that he can throw on here, like a Steel Scimitar. So the question becomes, is the Pact Shield Bearer better or worse than laying down an Armorer? Or another Aldvalathi? Next turn I have a ring break with Aldvalathi and Bruma Armorer, so I'm going to break a ring this turn, get the Shield Bearer down.
Well played.
Yeah, thank you.
You have my gratitude.
Right to my face, right to the dome. Okay. We are on a race against time now. I think I want to start loading up this lane with things because do that
Should have been more worthy.
because I want him to be forced over into the field lane. That's the idea. Saved my ring there so that way I could get an East Empire Crafter down with a Forerunner of the Pact. Okay, okay. So he's really committing over here, which is fine because I now have a Shadowfen Priest that I can use on one of these. Really wish I could get this down. I can't let either of these survive till the next turn, so we'll take this one out because the other one has less health. Do that. We'll rally. I'd rather have the rally go onto something that's not the Shadowfen Priest because it's already got a decent stat line. Okay. Okay, so he's just gonna hide over here. Another Pact Shield Bearer. That could be really helpful. Um, that could be super helpful. So we'll kill this first. Hmm. Hmm. Well, this needs to go down. And this could get pretty high over here. And it actually can't be affected by breakthrough anymore. Unless he adds some item onto it, I guess. But yeah, we're just up against something. Okay. Oh, go, go somewhere unpleasant. Damn, that sucks. Okay, we're up against Sugan Yako. Sugan Yakos. That's how I make that name out to be anyway. This hand is not super great. We have a lot of 2s and 3s in our deck, so I'll see if I can pull another one. Got a Scout's Report and another Pact Shield Bearer, so not too bad. This is basically the opening hand we had. And I'll keep Galen as a 3-drop. That other loss was it's a little unfortunate. Um, we'll discard him because the only reason that we have him is to get another card. Double Yoren's Vanguard. I think I like the idea of Galening in more prophecy creatures, so now our total goes up to 10 in our deck, but -1 because of the Fighter's Guild recruit we have right here. There's an East Empire Crafter, so we could get this combo going pretty quickly. I'm going to lay it down. He hasn't played anything yet, and it's turn 4, so that's a little worrying, but we'll see what he's up to.
We will protect the Emperor or die trying.
Okay, so he must be on some type of hand buff thing. Probably Faded Wraiths in his deck. Okay, so if it has 5 or more health, that's what we're going for. I'm going to lay down the Pact Shield Bearer over there, and I am not going to hit him yet, because he has too many cards. And I do not have enough. Chanter of Akatosh. Okay, I kind of see what he's going for now. Oh, hush. Why do you have that in your deck, bro? How many cards is this guy on? I forgot to look. 50. Okay. That's interesting. Well, I'll do that, and then I'll play a Yoren's Vanguard. Still don't want to do anything because I don't want to give him more actions. Potentially the Pact Shield Bearer could have been nice for him because he could have gotten some higher cost actions. He pulls out the Black Dragon. That sucks. I can play Fel the Mighty on it, though. Okay, so we're going to spend a lot of this game chasing this guy down. So this is kind of a situation similar to last game where I want to make this lane very uninviting. Thank you.
You have my gratitude.
I thank you.
Yeah, Fel the Mighty on that, and I'll play a Forerunner of the Pact. I want to do this field lane as well. Just I want to make both of them uninviting for this guy, but uh, more so I want to make it very impossible for him to challenge me over here as well. And I've been playing a lot of Elder Scrolls Online, like I believe I mentioned in the last video. So the Chanter of Akatosh here should be a reference to Primate Artorias from the Dark Brotherhood DLC in Elder Scrolls Online, which is very interesting. I was worried about hitting a prophecy there, but that's a fine prophecy for him to have hit. We'll see what Chanter generates. Yeah, that's pretty good for him. Not great, but pretty good. Fighters Guild Recruit will get a pretty big buff, but I don't think it's worth playing. Just because he might have a Javelin or something, so I'd rather him use a Javelin on one of these guys. Because Fighters Guild Recruit is such a good way to block him off. Doesn't this... it drops it to 1 power or 1 health? Okay. Well, this guy still survives. Yeah, he still survives, so that's fine. Unfortunately, this deck is very hard to play. Spell Sword, just in general, is very hard to play. I'm going to get rid of that. I'll kill this, do that. I would like to eliminate this, but I also want the Yoren buff because we haven't gotten it yet, so I'll play like that, and I think we'll play a Blackwood Distiller over here and a Forerunner of the Pact over there. And now we have a pretty nasty board state. So yeah, all in all, looking pretty good. There's a lot of ways that he could come back from this, but I think we have a very solid board state. Phalanx Exemplar, very good card. And the Snowhawk Detachment, not bad either. So it's going to take a lot of resources for me to deal with the blockages that he's put up. And if he's was going to say if he's smart, he probably hits face with the Phalanx Defender, but he might want to clean up some of the stuff that I've got going on. That way I can't get a buff from the Blackwood Distiller, which it looks like he's going towards that plan a little bit. Okay, so we swing first with this, that. And for those listening, like it's an audiobook, by this and that I meant Yorn's Vanguard and Blackwood Distiller slammed into the Phalanx Exemplar there. So now what? Invoker of the Hist could be a nice drop because we have the East Empire Crafter down. We're all out of Forerunners of the Pact, so the veteran effect does not matter here anymore. And because it's that way, I will kill both of them. And then Invoker of the Hist this way. And I think Ald Valathi over here just to make it very unpleasant for him to play in the field lane. He's going to steal the guard that I just generated, but it's kind of in vain because it's only a Penitus Oculatus agent. Still not a problem. We can always silence it too. I kind of like the idea of silencing it. I like his idea though with weakening me, but it's not really going to work. So Shadowfen Priest onto this guy. Yeah, I had imagined that he would concede, so there we go. That's veteran Ebonheart, game 1. Sorry, game 2. I totally forgot about the loss already. Bonus round. We're up against Argonaz, the Earthbone. I've never understood when it says bonus round. Must have played with this guy before. Maybe someone in the comments can let me know. Or maybe I could just Google it during during this recording. I'm going to throw those back and keep the scouts report. And so far, not a terrible looking hand, but I'm always weary when I face up against Empire. We'll keep that. Gonna look up Elder Scrolls Legends bonus round. I don't really have anything great to play, and about 20 seconds ago, when I said that this hand was looking okay, it's really not. It's it's looking pretty bad so far. Barrow Stalker's fine. Oh, they give you an extra star if you win in the rankings. So far, not looking great for me though. Not looking like I'm gonna win. But it is only turn 3, so. Oh, great. The Grizzly Gourmet is kind of like Mummify. Extremely annoying. Transform card. Uh, yeah, I think we just hold out until turn 10, if we can. He's ramping up though. Argonaz seems to be on a 70. Let's see, he played 2 cards. Yeah, he's on a 75 card deck. Play this first, clean him up a little bit. High Hrothgar I don't want to go down now because he undoubtedly has something to deal with it. And he's running Necromancers, so probably... Okay, Treeminder again. Well, I think we'll trade that way. I will hit him. And then I'm going to put a Yorn's Vanguard over there in the Shadow lane. He's reading what it does because it's not a very popular card, so I can't blame him. Just throwing a Piercing Javelin at it, that's fine. and he's still got 3 magicka left over, so what does he decide to do? Nothing. I think a Thorn Hist Mage over here is okay. I'd like to get rid of this sweet roll that he made. That way he can't heal his own creatures. This is the second creature that he's brought back from the discard pile. Okay, the third creature that he's brought back from the discard pile. This is looking like it's going to be a fun game. Scout's Report. Histgrove, sure. This is kind of one of the lulls that I was talking about. We have a lull in the, not LOL, LUL, I think is how you spell a lull, LULL. Regardless of etymology or spelling, um, the lulls in the game where it's okay to play a Histgrove. Yeah, that's bound to happen every once in a while. It's okay. Uh, as of right now, I feel like I don't need to play anything. I'm gonna rip the band-aid off and just play High Hrothgar. He'll probably Edict it, but if he doesn't, we shall see. Okay, now we're locked in a really uncomfortable stalemate. I cannot talk, I promise. It's not the beer. Um, I don't know what to play right now, though. Literally have no idea. I don't think anything's good. I'm not going to play anything. I'm going to implore.
Give me strength.
Okay, he top decked that edict because it was right there. So we didn't get any value from it. I'm going to play Gortwog Shadowlane. Yeah, these two fell the mighty. Two fell the mighties at the beginning. Oh my god. I actually had to take my headset off for a second. And sometimes when I have my headset on, I can't hear myself. So I can't enunciate my words properly. And so I'm taking the headset off a little bit. Because it is bothering me. East Empire Crafter Red Brahmin could be a combo. But what does that do for us? It doesn't do anything. I think I'll play a Fighters Guild Recruit here, and then we'll block off his Treeminder, or Thorn Hist Mage. Guys, I sound belligerent right now, I know. Just bear with me. Okay. Wow. That's rough. I could play Red Brahmin. I think I will actually play Red Brahmin. Like this. Yeah, I'm not going to hit him. He's got a lot going on. Oh my god. I have to say, this deck is really unpleasant to play against. Like, it really, really sucks to play against this. I'm gonna destroy that. He doesn't have anything that's in the range of Fell the Mighty. And yeah, it's just not good. It's just really not good. He's running Mummify as well, I just noticed. I mean, I have this mummy over here. Obviously, I took a mental note of it, but may the Hist aid you. I bet you got something to counteract that, dude. You got to. Play the Dunmer over here. Make him play in this lane with me. Another thing that I didn't note earlier, though, was that by... yeah, there it is. I mean, most of that junk he can have. By playing the High Hrothgar with the Histgrove on board, we split his attention with the Edict, so that way one of them was bound to stay. Mournhold Taskmaster with this is super cool because we can do this and then this. And if we had another one, we would pull it, but we don't. Dawn's Wrath here would really hurt my soul. It's Nahagleave instead.
Walk
And
without
a Dark
knowing.
Seducer. Okay. Well, we know that he has plenty of discard pile stuff. So, just gonna do that, and then we win. Cool.
Well
Good
fought.
game. That match was very interesting, to say the least. Okay, we're up against Velasco, the Forgotten Hero. They're on Scout. They are on a 58, 57 card deck, not 58. Um, and we'll see what they get up to. They are at rank 12. That could just be like me, though, and they haven't played in a while, so regardless of if they are a new player or if they are a returning player, I welcome them back to the game or to the game.
I slay the unworthy.
And I'm going to play Aldvalathi Field Lane because that's my specialty. It's my move of choice. And he's going to meet me with a Fighters Guild Recruit. Cool.
Should have been more worthy.
I'll take that. And I'm okay to just... I'm going to play the Dunmer here. So we'll play a 3-4 on turn 2. And he's got a Necromancer's Amulet, so I'm glad that I have the Dishnik Archer ready. And I'm sure he's not going to be prepared for that, so I'm going to play the Fighters Guild Recruit right here. And we'll see how he deals with that, if he has a way to deal with it. This is just here to support the Dunmer. And this definitely needs to die before turn 7. I'm going to hold the Dushnikyal Archer in my hand and pretend like I don't have an answer currently. Okay, he's going to get rid of that. So if he destroys my support, I'm just going to copy him. I'm just going to copy him for the whole game. I'm going to destroy his. And I don't want to give him another card. Dude, we are playing the same deck at this point. It's really funny. I could play a Black Marsh Centurion, but I don't want this guy to ever get ahead of me in Magicka. I'll hit him now. No Prophecy is a good thing. Thieves Guild Recruit, of course. Okay, so he's ramped enough where the Slime Marsh Blade will activate now, so I'll make him do that on his turn. As for my turn, I'm planning to just hit him. And I'll see if I can get a... I'll throw more Invokers of the Hist in, but I'll see if I can get a Black Marsh Centurion to activate. Opponent has 9 cards in hand. He got a Necromancer's Amulet back. And he's going to kill my Black Marsh Centurion. Okay, so opponent is gaining some health. We really don't want him to get that off. So we're going to kill it, and I'm going to have my Invoker of the Hist supported by the Aldvalathi Assassin. Okay. Lots of health gain showing up in our opponent's deck. He's got a Merchant's Camel as well. Throws away a second Necromancer's Amulet, so I'm curious. Okay, he picked Galen. So he clearly has something that he wants put back into his deck. Throw Yorn over there. Not the best time to have an Invoker of the Hist out, but I can present him with lethal damage because I have 10 on the board right now. If he kills his Galen and my Galen, that'll bump him up to 10. So then I'll still have 10 damage on board if I have the Invoker down. So that should be fine, unless he has a way to kill this or another giant bat or something like that. But we still have 5 runes to break, so if he's got some kind of attack planned for me, I welcome it. Tazcad. 0 breakthrough damage with that, though. Okay, I think we do this first. Play the Thieves Guild Recruit. Yeah, I'd prefer not to waste the Magicka regen there, but kind of have to. I'm actually going to hold on to Fell the Mighty in case he provides a guard over here. Solitaire. Probably brings back a Shadow, or not a Shadow Fen Priest, a Territorial Viper. Yeah. Yeah, that's good for him because that'll bump him up to 4. Okay, so we have problems. We now officially have problems. Um, hmm. Yeah, I don't like any of this. I throw my Barrow Stalker down. If he's able to boost his max magicka one more time, he can kill the Barrow Stalker. Which in Scout, it's likely that he can, somehow. But we kind of have to play stuff now. He's challenging us too much. Man. This sucks. This really, really sucks. Hmm. Yorn's Vanguard is fine. It's not what I want, but it's fine. Probably should have played it over here. Yeah, I definitely should have, so I'm gonna Fell the Mighty on that. The Necromancer's Amulet is really saving his ass right now. Man. Uh, I'm honestly about to concede. This is insane. Probably kills his Eclipse Baroness. Mushroom Tower. No? Okay, he doesn't want to kill his Eclipse Baroness. Well, if we can stockpile enough veteran creatures with charge, we have a chance, but it's not looking great. Like, for instance, if we have the Forerunner of the Pact combo, then we can get out of this, but I really don't think that we're going to be able to. And there's Call Dragon with Mushroom Tower. Yeah. Yeah. Man, that's so cool. Okay, well, good game.
The victory is yours. Well fought.
Okay, we're up against Suzid Philip, the Immortal. They're on Tribunal. They're on a 77 card deck, and we'll see what kind of shit they get up to. Well, that was a good turn 1.
I slay the unworthy.
We're just going to play Ald Valathi in the field lane, as we have been doing, to about a 50% success rate today. Blood Pact Messenger is kind of problematic. I'm going to play a Tree Minder, but I mean, we also need to note that the Tree Minder is probably going to die somehow. Execute, Forked Bolt, Crushing Blow, Lightning Bolt. Awesome. Yep, so, I mean, I did my best. It's all that I could have done in that situation. I am going to do a double Old Velothi. Okay, second Lightning Bolt. Cool. Probably has Thorana in his deck. I'm going to make more Barrow Stalkers because I think that having some health gain in this deck, some extra health, would be nice. And he plays Queen Iren to get a Lightning Bolt back. Smart. I'm going to mummify that and then kill it with the Galen. And then I'm going to hit in the face with the Ald Velothi Assassin. Yeah, I think that's the turn. I don't know if there's anything else that I want to do. Ice Storm is coming on this turn, if he has it. So I don't really want to play anything else. Although I feel like Ice Storm has gotten less fashionable to play. I usually don't see people playing that. Okay. Well, he wants both of those to die, so I will give him a Prophecy. Nice. Okay. Well, that's great. Still very apprehensive about playing anything here. Barrowstalker will die to this Lightning Bolt and a Telvanni Arcanist. Shadowfen Priest dies to the Lightning Bolt. Yeah, I think we're just going to give him the next turn. Ooh, Headless Zombie. I like that. Because now I can Shadowfen Priest that. We have 3 Bruma Armorers. I was thinking about Galening in the Bruma Armorer too, so I'm glad I didn't, because we don't need that many of them. Okay. Dark Rebirth, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna play both of those guys down, and what else? They're gonna make my Barrowstalker a 4/9 if I play it down, but Lightning Bolt plus 1 Frost Atronach, and then the Frost Atro is still alive. Not the best thing in the world for me to do. So I'm just gonna lay all 3 down and see what he does, because I'm out of ideas. Ooh. Well, that's interesting, but he could just kill it. I'm gonna keep it in my hand, see if he makes a 4th creature in this lane. Ah, awesome. Very cool, very cool. Well, I don't know if you guys know about this, but there's actually this button that you can press that will instantly get you out of any match that you're in like this. It's a really cool feature. So it's kind of hidden. You can use it anytime that you're in a situation like this, and it'll just send you right on to the next game. Like, it's awesome. Holy shit, it worked. We're up against Everall Mass, Guildsworn Campaigner. This is the first time we've seen the Pact Oathman, I think. No, it's not. Maybe it is. I don't know. Mournhold Taskmaster early is not bad. This person is on an Aldmeri Dominion 100 card deck, which is noteworthy. They also have the ring, and they're getting Serial out right now. Treeminder only delays the inevitable as far as I'm concerned for the moment, but we'll throw him down anyway. Oh, he had to use a resource to get rid of it, I suppose. I want this to go down. I'll get rid of the Barrow Stalker. Yeah, this combo is pretty good, especially with higher magicka.
No hard feelings, right?
Please no lightning bolts. Piercing Javelin is not really what I had intended to ask for there. Okay. Well, this is quickly becoming a huge issue. Turn 7, I have this combo, but as of right now, I'm not going to play the Mournhold Taskmaster because it can just be destroyed, and I did not see this combo until I played it, so that's cool. We can just do that.
May the ancestors bless
Okay,
us.
that's the second Iren that we've seen in a row.
If you're looking for trouble, you'll find it.
Hmm. Well, I'm curious about what he would do if I threw this combo down now. He'd have to javelin something. He'd probably javelin the Taskmaster. So we'll see what he does. Get a little bit of extra magicka there. Yeah, probably javelins this guy.
History shall remember this day.
I stand ready.
That card is very underrated, if you ask me. Oh, he's saving the javelin. Well, we can play an Invoker of the Hist,
Gives us all we need.
and then an East Empire Crafter,
Taste my steel.
and then we can do
You
this
will feed the wolves.
to gain all of our magicka back. Then we can do that. Then we can grab this guy, and then we can grab him. What do we want to do next? Yeah, I think we want to do that. Grab another Forerunner of the Pact. And then we want to throw this. No, 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 no. We want to have him survive. We throw the Thieves Guild Recruit over there. And then we throw this Forerunner of the Pact right here to kill that. And then we do that. Fun turn. Now now he javelins that. Absolutely.
They lack faith.
Okay, so while we are behind by 10 health, it's not the end of the world. Kill that, and Pact Outcast will get buffed when we play it down, but we don't really have a veteran creature for it to proc on yet, so I'm going to do that. And with a 100 card deck like this, I'm not quite certain what to expect. Lightning Bolt is a classic. Gotta always expect that. I'm weary to hit him, so I'll leave it up in the air. But if this thing can get off successfully, we should have a pretty safe next turn. Zivkin. Perfect.
Die like a dog.
Packed Outcast could be kind of cool because we can play our entire hand like this.
I slay the unworthy. There is good as dead.
So that's neat. So that happened.
You must be cleansed.
That.
Scaleless cow.
How much do we have? I didn't even count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not enough, but
Should've been more worth.
we can make a dent.
I will cut your first.
Die like a dog.
Okay, if he can deal with all of that, I would be pretty impressed. Or maybe I wouldn't. We'll see what he does.
As long as you're here, try to be
Burn Clan. Probably pointed at what?
It's okay. Stay behind me. By all
Okay. Well, I think we know what it's pointed at now. It's got to be pointed at the Shadowfen Priest. Yeah, we'll just go like that. Cool. GG. We are up against Hammer LG12, the Immortal. They are on Daggerfall with the Ebonheart Pact card back. Interesting. And I'm going to throw the Bruma Armorer back. I want the Tree Minder for the extra Magicka at the beginning, but, well, that would have been nice to have had him, but oh well. Sometimes it's hard to have the Bruma Armorer in your starting hand because then you have a card that you don't feel like you can play until you have other stuff to support it, so didn't want to play it there, or rather have it in my opening hand. We can wait before playing the Tree Minder because we don't really have a play for turn 3. That is a really cool card. Nobody ever uses that, myself included. I've tried to make it work in decks, but it never really does. And this opening hand is really bad. This is really, really bad. I'm going to take a shot in the dark, and I'm going to play the East Empire Crafter, hoping for something good next turn, because I just have to advance the board a little bit. And that is not great. It's really not great. I'll put more Dishnik Yal archers in my deck, though. Don't mind doing that. I would prefer some alternate route of play, but game's all RNG. You gotta play it as it comes. Okay. Make our first ring crack here. That. Now we have a pretty sizable guard over here, so things are looking okay. I would love to get an agility card, that way my Pact Oathman would activate. Okay, that sets me back a little bit, but not too badly, because we still have,
The
we've got the
bounty
agility card now.
gives us all we need.
And now we just have to hope we don't hit a prophecy, and we'll be okay. Hopefully. We got one Fell the Mighty and one damage in reach.
You must be
Got
clever.
15 damage. Okay.
I will keep Sothasil's people alive.
Yeah, I think we can win this one. I understand why he would have silenced the Invoker of the Hist. I probably would have done the same thing, but Pact Oathman has all this extra power, so
Die like a dog.
probably would have wanted to do that to him.
Repel the
But
outlanders.
even still, we would have won regardless. Okay, it's another win down. We were more aggressive than the Daggerfall deck, so the deck can kind of flip-flop when it needs to. We're up against Scorpion SS1, Scorpions 1, the Ingenious. They're at rank 9, like myself, and hopefully they don't have a better starting hand than I do. They're on a 100 card Tribunal deck. They're also the Ingenious. I don't know if I mentioned that. Shadowmere. Cool. Fighters Guild Recruit. So my analytics show that there's a big drop-off in people who watch. Most people watch like the first game, maybe a bit of the second game, but there's about 15% of all the people who watch or who click on the video that make it to the end of the video. And I actually feel like recording for quite a while today. So I think I'm going to make this one pretty long, but this feels like about the halfway point maybe. I usually just quit recording whenever I feel like it, but yeah, this feels like about halfway. I had a reason for saying that. Uh, oh yeah, I was thinking about doing a secondary Let's Play on this channel of some of the other Elder Scrolls games, and I'm curious as to whether or not people would be interested to see that on this channel or to see that on a second channel. My gut feeling is that it'd be better to build more of a brand on this channel as an Elder Scrolls channel. So anything Elder Scrolls related would wind up going on to Dariloth, and then I could make a second Dariloth or something like that that is more focused on just gaming in general, but I would keep most of the Elder Scrolls stuff here. I'm not certain exactly, but just wanted to fill you guys in on what the thought process is going forward. I'm going to throw Martin down. Also, if anyone has played Starfield yet, let me know what you think of it. Don't give me any spoilers, but let me know what you think of it. Because I'm hopefully optimistic, and skeptically optimistic as well. Okay, so we have to kill that. Hopefully he doesn't top deck it. Yeah. I think we do East Empire Crafter and an Ald Valathi over here, just to set up for next turn. The red year is good. That sucks, by the way. That's very bad. But now we have Blackmarsh Centurions activated with the Mournhold Taskmaster as well. Soon, anyway. So this has to die. That goes down. Gains guard immediately, so the veteran effect no longer matters. But a 5/9 guard is pretty good. Seething Flesh Golem. Hate that. Hate that that happened.
Die like a dog.
Lay all this stuff down.
What's your business?
Black Marsh Centurion. He can deal 8 damage, but that's not enough to kill it. Or no, 7. Deals 3 damage to everything.
You meet your end.
Mordecai, so he's on Singleton. Okay. That is helpful to know. This needs to die. Alt the Assassin is very good for over there. And I'm glad that I don't have to worry about more more Undying Dragons, although pulling it back from the discard pile is always something to look out for. I'm not going to play anything further because I could use the Red Ear next turn if he plays something crazy. Piercing Twilight gets rid of my last Fighters Guild recruit, perhaps, maybe my Armorers. I could see a world where he gets rid of my Shield Bearer, but I think right now all that he's trying to do is guard the Mordecai. So I don't think that Twilight is necessarily being used as a banish tool. Shield Bearer, that's fair. I don't mind that because it does thin my deck out a little bit. And he doesn't hit me right away. Pact Outcast is very good here because it allows for this.
No time for pleasantries.
So that gains guard immediately. This becomes a 6/6. I will consume the Centurion. But really, we're just trying to... I won't consume anything. Trying to kill the Mordecai. I will hit him again because we're behind by so much, but I won't break his next rune. Siege of Stros Mackay. On turn 10 for him. It's pretty cool. What does he have in his hand? Okay. He must be... Oh. That's very tough to deal with. He does hit me. But he does also... We hit with this first. He does also ignore this, which might be his downfall, assuming that I don't hit a prophecy. 1, 2, and 3. Good game. That is such a wild combo. We're up against King Dre 216. They're on Spell Sword. They are the Immortal. And they have 67 cards. What a strange number. I'll keep 1 crafter. I'd like to see some lower cost things, and we get 2 5s. So not ideal. Fighters Guild Recruit is fine. Scout's Report is something I like to see. I'll get rid of that. Yeah, the Dunmer Tyro's way better.
So many purses.
Ugh,
Little time.
that card is really, really obnoxious. See what we get. Forerunner of the Pact. Pretty decent. Decent so far.
Khajiit is having a good night.
He didn't steal that from me because he pulled it from up there.
This is where our little game ends. I mete out the tribunal's justice.
That guy is a voice actor straight out of ESO. Okay, he's gonna banish that. I'd imagine they got a lot of the same voice actors to do this kind of stuff. I know I found out in one of the videos that I did that Laura Bailey was the voice of the uh, Alt the Assassin, I think, which is pretty cool. Play the Scald King over here. I don't think they just pull straight up voice lines from the games, though. Okay, I was kind of worried about that because it was turn 6, but at least that javelin is gone. We'll play that. Give him a card. Throw him a bone. And he's going to use his Shadowfen Priest on that. And then this guy's playing with the Reachman Shaman, just like the other guy. Well, this has to go and the Shaman has to go. This will become a 5-5, so we need to play a Fighters Guild Recruit against it. But probably Edict, Javelin, another cast into time. Something like that can be used pretty easily to counteract this. Especially in a 67 card deck. Shadowfen Priest. Assists the other Shadowfen Priest. Ooh, okay. He doesn't hit face, though. He recognizes that that might be problematic for him. We'll see if he can counteract another Fighters Guild. I should have done East Empire Crafter Pact Outcast, though. That would have been way better for me long term, but I think just providing a lot of guards at this point is fine, and then I'll get this established now. That way we have an option next turn for what we want to do. Plays... Okay. So whatever thing he kills, Descendant of Alkosh is gone, which I'm happy with. And that's gone as well. So it seems to have worked out okay. How many veteran creatures? I have a Pact Outcast and 2 Dunmer Tyros. I'd like to get some value with these. So I'll play that first. Swing like that, and then wait. Opts not to swing with the Doomcrag, which is a decision. Fell the Mighty on Gortwog. And then East Empire Crafter, and this restores all of our Magicka. Play our Pact Shieldbearer. And Pact Outcast, I think I will use, simply to get rid of the other Pact Outcast here. So he said thank you. I'm wondering why. Grievous error. Okay. So what does he have that he is trying to get rid of? Odaving. Okay. Oh, okay. I was thinking that's not too bad, but yeah. I don't really understand why people are like rude with the emotes though. Never really understood that. Yeah, that's too bad. That's a rough outcome to the game. Would have been better to have used the Fell the Mighty on Doomcrag, but that's just something that I could not see in the future. But good game to this guy. Okay, I'm gonna use that button again because I'm not staying around for the Parthenax encore. We're up against Byako 1990, Steward of the Guildsworn. They're on Reteran. They're on 100 cards, of course, of course. Going to keep these 3 cards in our opening hand. Thorn Histmage, yeah. Just taking a look at what we've got. So far, so good.
Hail, friend.
I will tell him hello.
Greetings.
Oh no. Come on. One recording. You beseech the gods. Not to be on the emote train for too long, but I have noticed a lot of people that either play Invade or play Dragons. They really like the emote wheel. They're real big fans of that. Thankfully, we can use the Pact Oathman here to crush this. So that's nice.
Identify yourself. Awaiting your command.
Dishnik Archer will go onto the camp here and also protect our Forerunner. And he doesn't have anything to say about that. Okay. Uh, this is a moment where it would be good to establish both of these.
It's not enough to watch your back
Oh,
these days.
this thing is trouble. That thing is trouble with a capital T.
Your death will be swift in my sight.
Deal a bit of damage to him. Uh,
I stand
Bruma Armorer and Thorn Histmage could be pretty cool. Bumps up our Magicka again. And I'm looking forward to the East Empire Company Dunmer Tyro Forerunner combo. We'll be able to get going here in a second. Provided that our armorer stays alive. And there's Call Dragon. Awesome. Pretty simple to see it coming. Thankfully, we can get rid of that with all the stuff that we have at our disposal. And he kills that guy. Cool.
Your death will be
So that's gone. We'll play the crafter down. Then I actually think Forerunner is fine for now. And this. Cool. He actually does hit a prophecy here, so we don't get to get this guy off.
Let none defile our
Okay, he's going to gain a little bit of health, but that's fine.
take your positions.
Snowhawk Detachment is decent here. Stops me. Not quite certain what his best move is going forward. I think mine is here, 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 because that would do 11 damage to him. Forerunner of the Pact would be awesome here. Edict of Azura. Don't know what he's looking at here. Is he debating between... Okay, he's... Yeah, that wasn't going to proc at all. So, that was strange. Go like this. Do that. And we need to do 6 damage. I don't think that I have a way to do that. But I can actually leave both of these guys alive and then do that. And Forerunner of the Pact here is cool. We'll see what he does. Oops, cancel. Yeah, we'll see what he winds up doing. All right, good game. GG, he just drew the wrong part of his deck, basically. Hey, during this next part, my mic was muted, so I'll just kind of pop in here while editing and tell you a little bit about my thought process that I was going through during this. So, we're up against this Stalnoil guy on Tribunal. He's got the Emperor tag. He's got a 75 card deck. And basically, I was feeling really good about this match. I had this very decent opening hand and just kind of waiting for him to play his turn. Passes it over to me quickly. Um, didn't feel the need to play the Fighters Guild Recruit down. I like that more as a option for defense rather than just charging straight in for no reason. Galen in the Forerunners of the Pact. I could have done the Fighters Guild Recruits as well to up the prophecy count, but I think adding more Forerunners is really fun because then they can pull out the Galen Forerunners, so fun little synergy there. He throws this guy up, and my first thought, since I have Mummify in my hand, is that I don't need to address it now. If he's running a card like this, it means that he has ways to buff it up. So I was going to wait for it to get some sort of buff on it. A little bit disappointed to see the Bruma Armorer die, but I wanted to wait for that thing to get any kind of buff on it before I killed it. I believe, yeah, Forerunner of the Pact was my idea here because he can kill his creature with it right now, but most cards that would buff it up would also give it a little bit of defense there, like the Tome of Alteration that he pulled. So now he's down a Tome. I mean, he did generate a card from drawing it, but he's down a Tome and he's not going to get the last gasp effect because I had Mummify. So we kill that, put the Barrowstalker down just to help us get a little bit of health on him. And now we wait. So with the Ordinator of the Ohm CV down, I really didn't like the idea of him getting uh, any other Exalt cards to combo with this, be it another Ordinator or the Temple Patriarch, I believe is the name of the card that buffs up all others. So I just sacrificed my own 2, and then I laid down the lethal creature. Uh, Again, not using it offensively, just basically telling him to stay out of the field lane. This was really interesting too. He lays down this General Tullius, and a lot of antics ensue with the General Tullius. So uses Squish the Wimpy to clear out my guy. I'm not super thrilled to see that, but it is what it is. And then you'll notice that I have a pretty good hand leading up here, and in about 5 seconds, I'm going to notice that my mic isn't on, so I will just leave it there and enjoy the rest of the video. I just realized that my mic has been off this whole time. uh, Essentially, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the red ear to kind of blow up his whole board in a turn or two. That's the plan going forward. My bad, guys. Sorry about that. Using a headless zombie to get back a brilliant experiment is wild stuff. Play the Blackwood Distiller, and Pact Oathman might be good. I think it's better to get rid of this, actually. So we'll do that. Make him think that I'm still trying to fight for board control when really
All right, men.
I'm just
On
going to
it.
blow him up.
I live. Awaiting your command.
He seems not to be concerned with the fact that I can kill one of these and gain some magicka.
Herbs can heal.
Uh, Red Year is not, it's not viable right now. I'm going to play Gortwog to contest. That's what I'm going to do. Oh, that's too bad. Banishing my Gortwog. Doppelganger on Tullius. I like what this guy's doing. I think it's really
I
funny.
live. Awaiting your command.
Yeah, Headless Zombie kills that. Okay, well, he is likely going to be a little bit mad at me after I do this, but that's the way it's going to go. Apologies.
Apologies.
We'll never give ground.
Phalanx Exemplar.
They will never know I
Uh,
was there.
yeah. Okay, so we can do some kind of cool stuff here,
We
like
must
this.
protect the stronghold.
That way he doesn't get any value there. I'll play a Forerunner over there, and Thieves Guild Recruit. Now he might play a Brilliant Experiment on this. Generate another thing. Yeah, he's not going to do that, though. Oh, he is going to do that. Okay.
Justice will be done.
Well, I'm running out of clever things to do.
I'll scout ahead.
That's kind of helpful. Okay, this needs to go. And this needs to be laid down. Throw down Martin as a threat. Morag Tong Nightblade is a really interesting card.
They will never know I was there.
He's not playing Empire, so there's no chance that he can draw a new arrow with that, but there are still some very frightening actions. Draws Nakreen. So he's on just like a very discount-heavy deck, I guess. Forerunner of the Pact is not what I was looking for. Would have gone with just about anything. I probably shouldn't have done that. No, I should have. Never mind. Do I... If I don't play anything, my Magicka will go up to 25 next turn. If I do play stuff, though, I have a better board, so I think we're just going to play like this. Hit him a little bit. We are playing from behind by quite a bit. No more Red Year means that we are in Problem Town. If that's an action, we're definitely in Problem Town. He does hit me, which will give me something. Not a prophecy, though. Immolating Blast. Okay, that's good.
I do not fear them.
Black Marsh Warden is a little problematic,
As you wish.
but not the end of the world. I do like double Thorn Histmage here. So this side is going to need the double Thorn Histmage. I would have liked to have played a Yoren's Vanguard, but that just was not feasible. And we probably die this turn. Yeah, that's rough. So I played through a few of the ESO DLCs. This is Nala Do. It's it's Queen Chimera's captain. I did not like this character. thought it's kind of an annoying character. But then again, I I notoriously do not like the Khajiit. I find them very annoying. Uh, Not just in this game, in Elder Scrolls in general. Like I just genuinely not a fan. I know that's very counter to a lot of people, but like, oh shit. But yeah, I'm not impressed with the Khajiit. I think in theory they're kind of interesting, but in practice they are really boring and poorly written.
Don't accommodate barbarians or peasants.
Cool. Just because of the fact that they make them like, I don't know, the third person speech that they always do is very weird to me because some of them don't speak in the third person. And unless there's some deeper meaning to that, I think it's just a distracting way of having them talk. Like they're from somewhere that's not Tamriel, like the rest of everyone. It's like they're alienating them. I wish that they would just, I don't know, Argonians have their own speech called Gel, and they speak English or Tamrielic fine. So I don't get why Khajiit do the third person thing. But if there is a reason for that, I guess someone can let me know. Ooh, up against a high elf guest. We'll see how they do. High elf guest is the forgotten hero. They are 54 cards in their mage list. And I think just the East Empire crafter's fine.
Everything was taken from me. Today I will pay in kind.
Altmer Flameslinger is not the most threatening thing, but it can definitely snowball.
My friend would like to say hello. Out of my sight.
And now we have to look out for that.
I will cut your purse and your throat.
I'd rather be... Would I rather be at 5 Magicka next turn? Yeah, I would. I would. I'm purposefully not muting my mic every time I crack open a new beer, by the way.
Foul-breathed imbecile.
Packed Outcast. It doesn't do anything. We'll kill that. Might have made more sense actually to kill that, but that 1 damage coming in every turn is a little annoying. Wow. Hyper aggression. Therapist level aggression from this guy. We'll do a... Oh, I wish I could play just a little bit more this turn. Treeminder and then Pact Oathman is a move, but it still leaves a lot over here, and then I don't have anything. This could kill this guy, is my thought, but then I can't do anything other than Pact Oathman, and Pact Oathman will just be a 3/3 over here, doing nothing. Pact Outcast doesn't do anything. It just dies. It either dies to this, or this. So we're really not in a good spot. Probably should have done Murd onto this guy. That would have made way more sense. But that's okay. If you make a mistake, it's good to just recognize it and learn from it next time. So I'll play the Treeminder and then the Pact Oathman, because I don't think that I can deal with this being on the board. And I'll lay Ungolem over here because he deals with both the what is it? The High Rock Summoner and the, I never know how to pronounce this. Abyssian, I believe is how you do though. Abyssian Navigator. And then the Camlorn Hero, we can either fell the Mighty or we could play a Mummify on it if we really need to. It is only turn 5, but he does have us whittled down pretty badly.
Let's shed
Ooh,
some
Cunning
light
Ally
on the
procking is really bad. So that drops us down. You should probably Firebolt Ungolem here. And then you can just kill the Tree Minder with the High Rock Summoner. Yeah. Yep. And I don't think that we've hit a prophecy during this entire recording. If we have, uh, I've forgotten about it. Okay, so Pact Outcast might be my only move. We can get it up to a 6/6, but he could just have a Javelin, and then he's got 10 damage over there, plus some action in his hand. So we really lost this game on like turn 3. uh, but sometimes that's just the way that it goes. I'll play the Scouts Report to see if there's anything better. I will keep that, and I will also play... Mummify would drop 1 damage off the board, which could be helpful. East Empire Crafter's fine, though. Just to get a creature on the board, because then we can Mummify one of these and kill it with the Crafter. Supposing he doesn't just end us with a Lightning Bolt right now or something.
I have you now.
Lightning Bolt, Forked Bolt would be quite an end. Mage's Trick, okay. Lightning Bolt Mage's Trick would be quite an end as well, but he doesn't have the Magicka for that currently.
Let's do this.
If that procced, I was about to scream. Okay.
Die like a dog.
Like this. This can go up to a 2. No. So with this on the board, it'll become a 2/5. With 2 of these on the board plus this, it'll be like a 4/7. Which seems pretty good to me. So I think that's what we're going to do. Double East Empire Crafter. Probably should have played the Bruma Armorer first, but we're under a little bit of pressure here. Okay, 4/7. That does block up the lane, but we are a Lightning Bolt away from dying. Yeah, and there it is. We're up against Zinzan, the Abominator, on Daggerfall. Zinzan is... he's a Nord. The only way that I can describe that avatar, at least the way that it looks to me, is that he's a little gumpy. And they're on an 85 card deck, so 10 over the limit. The normal limit for, I guess the minimum. Not the limit, but 10 over the minimum for tricolor decks. And a Master Swordsmith. That's rough. That is really rough. Not only is it rough, it's bad.
What did you expect?
We need to kill this, so we're on Operation Attack this guy.
Blood upon the sand. I don't just know how to make them.
Okay. Okay.
No
Gonna continue buffing that lane up. I need a little bit more health, so Barrow Stalker's the gal for the job, and we'll see how this pays off.
Into the fray.
I keep a spare blade in
Okay, this lane is scary now, and I don't like any of it, but I think we have to fully commit to something.
It's been fun, but this is where the game.
I'm going to wait to see
Roots of the hiss.
what he applies an item to, and then I'll mummify it. If it's on this guy, then that will get mummified. If it's on this guy, then that will get mummified. But,
I ride like the wind.
oh, that's a good option
I
too.
stand behind my word.
Oh my god.
Fate is clear.
This guy really got a good hand.
estimate me.
I mean, 85 cards or not, this dude is on some
I'll handle this.
some massive shit. Uh, this will just make our guard a 4-3, which is a little problematic. So I think a 4-5 guard is more valuable. I have a Dunmer in my discard pile. It will make the Pact Outcast a 7-5. I don't know if that's worth it. Lay down a Blackwood Distiller.
And rejuvenates.
Yeah, I think this is the plan. We're going to pivot over to the field lane to deal with these easier targets. And then hopefully this guy can kill one of these, and then we'll mummify the other and leave it alone. Echo of Akatosh too. Wow.
Wrong place for a midnight stroll.
I don't just know how to make them.
Okay. That's not how I thought this turn was going to go.
Herbs can heal or harm.
Galen needs to be used on a Barrow Stalker. I think that's my consensus here. Mummify needs to be used on this now. And the Pact Outcast will eat the Dunmer. Because against a deck like this that had such a strong start, I think that I'm going to need some health gain in the future. I mean, he got like 2 buffs off from the Master Swordsmith, so any item that he has is that much better, except for that one, because he had that in his opening hand. And I don't get why you wouldn't play that first. That might have just been a mistake, but maybe there's some reason I'm not seeing currently. Play the Black Marsh against that, this in the Shadow Lane, just in case he has some kind of shenanigan with that, but I want to split up the lanes to make it a little bit more difficult for him. Okay, so that was the idea. This can't work anymore because you can't mobilize with items. Ooh, yeah. I mean, that didn't work the way that he really wanted it to, I don't think, because... yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a concession after that. But I get what he was trying to do. It's just that mobilize the lane needs to be empty. So maybe we can get Martin's Septum to go off. That'd be cool. Corsair ship. Okay. We'll be at 18 Magicka. And then we wait. Good game.
Well fought.
That was not how I was expecting that game to go. I was under a lot of pressure from him the whole time. We're up against Horst Moen, the Hungry. Horst Moen sounds like a... Horst sounds like a very Nordic name, I guess. I'll throw the Dishnikjal Archer back. We'll see what we can get. East Empire Crafter, Pact Shield Bearer. Decent stuff so far.
A new dawn is rising.
Oh, we're up against Invade. Well, let's see how well we fare. I have no way to deal with Oblivion portals, especially in a deck without red, because that means no Mankar Cameron, so the portals are likely not going to be buffed up to 4. Horst is on a 2 cards here, so that's 6 plus 49,
I will
um,
know paradise.
55 card deck. I'm going to stop this before it starts, like so. And then we have a guard for his Regini Highwayman. Valkinaz Mage. Definitely a problematic thing to see. Double Valkinaz Mage. So, new plan is stay out of the shadow lane for now until we get a lethal creature. Oh, well, Green Pact Ambusher is going to go down anyway. Yeah, that sucks. Okay, well, Green Pact Ambusher is really blowing up in my face here in a way I was not expecting that it would. Red Brahmin will be really good against this, though. Well, it'll be kind of good against it. Don't want him getting a ward on one of those again. And the Pact Shield Bearer. Man, not ideal. Play Gortwog. That way we can try to kill the Sigil Keeper. Sigil Keeper's a very nasty card. I saw Vincenzo talking about his own little rant, similar to what I did. And there were a bunch of invade cards that I didn't really bitch about, but the invade mechanic is a very real annoyance. Yeah, fortune is favoring you because you're playing invade. Yeah, this is not a good time for the Fighters Guild recruit to come down, I don't think. So I'll throw it over here, I guess. Because of the ward on here. Anyway, Vincenzo was talking about Sigil Keeper, and it made me realize how much I despise the Sigil Keeper. It is such a busted card. I hear like the dynamite hissing noise, like one of us has to end our turn, but I can't see it on either end. And oh my god, if that stays in the background, I'm so sorry, guys. Oh man. Uh, I'm gonna... Here, hold up. I'm gonna mute my computer audio, and hopefully that goes away by the time that this recording is over. Actually, I'm gonna mute the game volume. That would probably be better, because that sucks. Master volume down. We turn the game volume back up. Okay. That didn't change anything. Oh shit, I didn't want to do that. I got all goofed up. That's my defense. I got all goofed up because the game was weird. You know what? Actually, not a bad target for Blast from Oblivion to go on to, though. But yeah, not an ideal turn of events for sure. Play the Pact Shield Bearer to kind of block out this lane. Let me see if the noise went away. Okay, it went away. That was annoying. I really did not like that. The noise, that is. Aerostorm taking out my Crafter. I really think if you run this card, like, stop it. I'm going to give invade players a tip. Stop running Occult Rite Master. The one invade is not worth it. Just throw everything else in and like put some actions in your deck. Other than this, this guy sucks. You get one item onto him and he invades once. If you're making an item invade deck, you're doing invade wrong. Just stop playing him. It makes me so upset whenever I see him. He's so bad. Okay. Yeah. Time to attack the portal. We almost have Red Brahmin. He didn't even use the steel dagger.
Live soberly and peacefully.
Wow, that's cool. Nice.
Fight well.
Nicely done. I'll actually congratulate him on that. That's pretty cool. There's the Mummify, though. So, adios to the portal. And now we should be okay. Horst Moen has a very odd take on Invade, but I'm here for it. This might be the most chaotic recording I've ever done.
I will live forever.
Mythic Dawn Acolyte, okay.
We must keep our home secure.
It's been
Die
fun,
like a
but this is
dog.
where our little game ends.
Blackmarsh Centurion can deal with that. Especially getting gifted guard from this.
There is a toll for this road.
Another Highwayman. No invasion. Very interesting.
Die like a
I'm just going to spend some time building up the board. The only thing that he could have to take me out now is Ice Storm, which he could be running. Aerostorm on either lane would hurt just because it would take out one of these guys, but thankfully we've split them up so they're not vulnerable together. Immolating Blast would be pretty bad, but so far I'm not too worried against this guy. It's looking okay.
The victory is yours.
Okay, and he's just gonna leave. Fair enough. We are up against Stelly HD, the Thief of Dreams. And we'll see what the Thief of Dreams over here is up to with their 55 card mage deck. All of these are actually okay. I'm going to turn away the Blackwood Distiller. I like having the Mournhold Taskmaster with a Shield Bearer here just so that way we can guarantee on turn 5 that we can do something with the charge. And the Dunmer here is pretty good, and the Mummify can stop anything super crazy. And maybe even better, we could have Mournhold Taskmaster into Yoren's Vanguard here. Let's get things rolling with this guy.
This is where our little game ends. The watch is mine.
Drez Renegade. That tells me he could actually be Invade. But I don't know for sure. I'll play the Thieves Guild Recruit here rather than the Mournhold Taskmaster since he hasn't used a Lightning Bolt. It's likely that he will get one soon. Cunning Ally does not proc, which is good for me. But he has a Firebolt anyway. Okay, so what do we do now? I think Pact Shield Bearer is fine. Defends against both of these guys. Out of Lightning Bolt range. He'd have to use a Piercing Javelin on it. If he does use a Piercing Javelin, though, we are in Trouble Town.
well. Let's see if we can find something useful.
Maybe the Steel Sword on the Cunning Ally. Yeah, just takes it out right away. He's probably not invade, but if he's doing some item invade like I was just making fun of, I I'll be impressed. I think the play is this, and if he adds a bunch of items onto this, it's simply Mummify. Then we wait till turn 9 for Mournhold
Let's put
Taskmaster and Yorn's Vanguard by establishing a Black Marsh Centurion. That's not what he's doing though, so we'll just establish the... you know what? No, we'll do Black Marsh, like I said. We'll stay solid. I was going to do Gortwog Shadow Lane, which is another idea. Also, have you guys noticed that I've gotten a lot better at speaking as the video's gone on? I'm not completely belligerent anymore.
let's put these to use.
That's pretty good. We'll throw that over here.
Friendly greeting.
Okay, so we're going to have to change our turn 9 plan because this went down. But that's okay. Kill that, do that, and now we'll do Gortwog Shadow Lane. Use all of our Magicka for that turn. He's going to banish my Gortwog.
Let's put these to use.
Kill that. Now, what does he do with his remaining 4? Didn't he just play one of those? I turned it into a mummy. Okay. Well, I think we play the Mournhold Taskmaster, then Yorn's Vanguard. I'm just going to beat him up a little bit, and then when he breaks the ward on here, we'll have the Vanguard ready to stop it, provided that he doesn't cast it into time.
Learn something useful.
This is pointless here, what he's doing, because we have the Pact Oathman here. I guess it's not completely pointless if that was his plan the whole time. Pretty good idea. That's helpful for him too. But at the end of the day, the plan remains the same. No, it doesn't. I'll just kill this. Oh, I should have played the Pact Oathman first, but you know what? We've got the Thorn Hist Mage. I'll play the smaller one first, then the Pact Oathman. And we have a clear board now. So Ice Storm, again, something that would be scary against these mage matchups, but don't have to worry about that, it would seem.
That's one trick I'll have to learn.
And the Thief of Dreams having a pickpocket card is not really all that surprising. Dark Rebirth, cool.
Holding on to anything interesting?
Okay, we have quite a bit of damage. I'm going to swing with our 6, then with our 4, then with our 3. I'll play the Thorn Hist Mage over here with a... Ooh, maybe should have played that first to buff that guy up, but didn't know if I was going to hit a Prophecy, so... it's kind of all ambiguous. The red here is one of the cards that he stole from me. That is really bad.
You fight
Uh, at least he has good taste in cards. The Pact Outcast can do borderline nothing, so we might just want to wait for a Mournhold Taskmaster if we can. And then that could get us the kill. Doesn't look like he's running any drain cards, but he could have stolen one. Red Brahmin gets some pretty good value here. We'll play him, and then we'll do the Dunmer Tyro over here.
This is where our little game ends.
I can't believe he got my red ear. If he has another one, it's going to be insane. Because he did have 2 pickpockets with the Dark Rebirth. What does that get rid of? Probably Mummify. That's what I would get rid of. Or the Taskmaster. He gets rid of my Hist Mages. Honestly, that's
What did
fine
you
with me.
expect? A friendly greeting?
Okay, he got that too. That sucks. Oh, that super sucks. Wow. So he's just gonna steal all my shit. Okay.
Surrender or die.
Well. It's not good. Play the old Velothi over there. I'll let him kill my Red Brahmin. Or maybe he will get overzealous and try to attack face. 12, 17, 21. Should have counted that before. That was eerily close to lethal there. Well, that's unfortunate. Oh yeah, that's real unfortunate. If anything, let this match be a testament to how good the Red Year is, because still, don't see enough people running it. It's very good. Consume the, I don't know, Vanguard.
No man can deny his destiny.
Okay, got approximately 3 seconds to kill me. 1, 2, thank you. Much appreciated. GG. Okay, I'm back from a brief intermission. I had to go and have a social life for a little bit, so we're back. I'm going to continue recording the same deck. We're just going to make it one whole video. No cuts or anything like that, but just one straightforward flow. Okay, we're here with Albino Assassin, the God Slayer. They are on Empire, and they have got 83 cards in their deck. I have got 75. This is not a great opening hand, but I'm hoping since we have 5s and a 4 in our hand, it'll increase the chances that we get a 3-2 or a 1-drop. Not the end of the world, though, for sure. And okay, still not great, but I do like having a Mournhold Taskmaster. I do like seeing the Dunmer here. Just take the Tree Minder out really quick. Now we've got a 3-3 in the field lane, so that's definitely a plus. Our opponent hasn't done much to tell us what they're on about, but they are on Empire, so it could be a number of things. Blood Pact Messenger is a little annoying, so we're just gonna... Yeah, I think I'm just gonna shoot it. I'm gonna put a guard in the shadow lane. That way he's not tempted to put anything over there right away, hopefully. And then I should be able to establish Yorn's Vanguard in the field lane. Or I could do Bruma. Yeah, I like this more. Bruma Armorer, Barrow Stalker. That will allow for a beefier Mournhold Taskmaster to drop down, and just anything that follows will be better as well.
By the Lord, Mother and Wizard, I see their strategy.
Okay, he seems to be on a pretty regular deck too. This is something we definitely don't want to go off, so I think we're going to play down. I'll play down the Taskmaster, and since I haven't broken a ring charge yet, I'm going to do that. And I'll do it over here. Buff him up a little bit, just to protect the Armorer. And since we gain 1 Magicka with the Tree Minder, it made sense to use a ring charge on that. Now that thing is going to be a bit of an issue, especially since we don't have a guard in there any longer. Pact Oathman doesn't really do anything. But we can establish Yorn's Vanguard. So now we have a 6/8 over here, plus the Mournhold Taskmaster. I don't know if it's a good idea to hit him yet. To break a rune yet, I mean, because he does have this thing on the board, which is very intimidating. Yeah, I don't really like any of it. I'm going to kill the Kinsman. He'll gain a little bit more health. Drop him down to 27. I do have this Pact Oathman for whenever I need him, hopefully, with Yorn the Scald King on this. And we'll see what he decides to do, yeah. Like any respectable Quinral burglar enjoyer, he hits face. Okay. So we can at least get rid of this. He probably thinks that he's safe, but he is not. And we buffed up our other Mournhold Taskmaster with the Yorn's Vanguard, so that's pretty neat. Use the Packmaster. And I will lay down the Scald King himself. So we'll see where this gets us. So far it's anyone's game. A rune has not been broken yet, but it will be. And I draw a Black Marsh Centurion from that. Comboed with the Mournhold Taskmaster, that could be pretty powerful. That's unfortunate though. Him getting Scald King shouldn't be too bad for us, but also it's not entirely ideal. So I'm going to play... It might be a bit of a gamble, but I'm going to play Galen down here to get more Taskmasters. And unless he has a Squish the Wimpy or something, he shouldn't be able to get both of these. And plus we have the Taskmaster into Black Marsh Centurion as well. I'd really rather him have Yorn the Scald King than either of these, so that's the idea. He does have more health than I do now. Or more health than I can handle as well on the Night Talon Lord. So essentially I need... Oh, wow. Okay. Oh my god, that's not helpful. Well, this is GG here. Opponent got the better of us. Not much that I can do. I mean, I can attempt to lay down some guards, but yeah, we're pretty much at a lost position here.
I'll bury my axe in your skull.
Fresh start is pretty damn good for him. And he's just going to keep increasing that health total. Oh, Golden Saint hurts my feelings. And our opponent at any point can play a new era on us to reset the board, so not the best situation to be in. Forerunner of the Pact, though, is not a bad idea, because we can at least get rid of him. So we'll see what he does here. He'll wind up with a 4-1 guard in the shadow lane.
If I can't steal it, it can't be stolen.
Okay, 2 runes broken. Ooh, the red year. That could actually fix our position.
You can't defeat me.
We'll hold on to that, but it's going to be played anyway.
What did you expect?
That sucks.
Friendly green.
Green Pact Ambush are really coming in to bite me in the ass today. So we'll play that, and I'll get a Tree Minder down. Next turn, we'll have our Histgrove proc off if he's not able to do anything about that.
Walk
And a Dark Seducer is upsetting.
citizen.
That is 10 damage right there. Um, all that he needs is 2 Javelins to win. What's a good idea here? So we have the Pact Outcast. We'll lay that down first. I can either get... I could draw a Forerunner of the Pact from my deck, or I could draw Yorn's yeah, Yorn's Vanguard, because we can kill the Dark Seducer. So kind of a no-brainer. Do that. And we'll lay Martin's Septum down. If that can get off, then we'll be in business, actually. Wow. What a turn of events. Okay. Why was this thing buffed up? Oh, because of the... Yeah, okay. Makes sense. Next turn, if he's not able to deal with Martin, then we win. Oh my god. Okay. Wow. Good game.
Well fought.
1, 2, 3, and boom. That win came out of absolutely nowhere. Okay, we're up against Setop, the Mages Guild Master Wizard. This person is also on Empire. We'll see what brand of Empire they're on. That other guy was on kind of a health gain Empire, so it was interesting to play against, I'll say. Some of the usual suspects showed up, though, like Dark Seducer. We had the Undying Dragon as well, which is a very good card. No Alien Guardians, though, which I'm happy about. And this is looking like Slay Empire. There's a few Slay cards in Empire to look out for sure. You've got stuff like the Moragtong Nightblade. You've got stuff like Astrid that can show up. I think it's more valuable here to use all 3 of our Magicka to establish the Dunmer. And then next turn, maybe we can do something with one of our 4-drops. Yeah, Blackwood Distiller seems great. Blackwood Distiller could be in his deck as well. That's another Slay creature. Probably need to look out for move cards during this matchup, so things that can... Yeah, Mummify. Things like... Not completed contract, Dead Drop, right? That's the name of that card. I think we'll lay the Dishnik Yal Archer down in the field lane. I'm just going to load up the field lane. Protect the 2 creatures that we have over there. And Setop, I think I mentioned, it's looking like they're on a little bit over 75. Yeah, 78. Okay, Cicero is definitely a distraction. We've got the Red Brahmin already. I think Pact Oathman's better used somewhere else. I'm going to save Mummify as well. We are at rank 9, so I don't mean to put Setop down, but I also need to kind of think about what he's doing, what kind of deck he has. And currently, all of this stuff I could see, minus the Brotherhood Sanctuary, in almost any Empire deck. So I don't quite know what he's up to. Okay, there's his Blackwood Distiller. And that's kind of why I was saving my Mummify for something else that he puts into the Shadow Lane. Pact Oathman now can kill this though, so long as we have a green creature, but we don't have a green creature. So we're going to use a Mummify on him. And we'll establish the Histogrove, we'll have access to Red Brahmin next turn, and all will be well. I hope.
My powers are immortal.
Dismantle, okay. So I uploaded that gameplay of Starfield onto my channel. I'm sure that you guys noticed that, or you could take a look at it right now. If you're curious about watching that game perform really, really poorly. But I noticed it was kind of funny. I lost a subscriber by posting that. So that was kind of interesting to me. Okay, so our opponent pivoting to a lot of lethal creatures on board, but not really a whole lot of purpose to them. And I actually can meet his lethals with my own. So, yeah, I'll do a bit of damage to him. So Lucien Lechance, interestingly, does not benefit from his own buff. Okay. Red Brahmin's looking like a very easy option for this lane. Shadowfen Priest is pretty good as well. See, if I lay a Red Brahmin down, I can actually have either one of my Old Velathis survive in whatever lane they get played to. So I think actually Red Brahmin's better over here. Because we can do this. I'll use my Lesser Pact Oathman on... Let's see, I'll put him field lane, but I'll kill the Mummy. Because the Odd Velathi will die regardless of what happens. And now we've got a pretty decent presence against him. We're up 6 health. He's got one silenced, shackled creature on the board. Fighters Guild Recruit's a pretty decent answer, but not the best thing in the world. There's Martin again. Do we dare play Martin? He's at 1 card a turn. Yeah, I'm gonna hit him first, and then let's see if I play Martin. If I play Martin now, I'll go up to 20 Magicka next turn. This is really tricky. I'm gonna hold on to Martin. Hold on to him. Because Red Brahmin right now is threatening enough that he might have to play something against it. Okay. Pretty easy turn then. Bruma Armorer. This. Shadowfen on this. Pact Oathman on the Blood Pact Messenger. And now we have a lot of threats, so we don't even need Martin anymore. We have lethal on board. With 18 damage, he's only got 14 health. Piercing Javelin has been used. Okay. I'm going to play Martin now. And I'm going to clean up the board. We'll go up to 23. 22, my bad. 22 minus 3, 19. plus 13. Technically 14 now, so we should be able to get our Avatar of Akatosh off once more.
I'll do what I can.
Nice. Okay, good game. It's crazy. Back-to-back Avatars of Akatosh. You never know what you're going to get when you play this deck. Okay, we're up against Gamer99 Brian, Hero of the People. They are on Redoran. Redoran's maybe one of my favorite deck combos, but I hardly play with it. I'm going to keep the Tree Minder to get that extra Magicka. Gamer99 Brian is also on a 75 card deck, which I appreciate. Yeah, that Starfield video, I really just wanted to get that gameplay out there. I very, uh, not very heavily, I very heavily didn't promote it on anything. Usually when I upload a Legends video, I throw it on the Legends Reddit, and then I throw it on the Legends Discord. But with that Starfield video, uh, I pretty much uploaded it. I shared it to a few places on Reddit, but I didn't really know where to put it. Um, so it's pretty low on views right now. It's far from the best thing I've ever released. Okay, this thing is actually a huge problem right now. Yorn's Vanguard seems like a good option for this. So we'll play him down. But I'm thinking we're going to be playing from behind for a little bit. But yeah, I was so curious about that game because really all that I care about from Bethesda is Elder Scrolls. So, Starfield has just been this big, uh, it's been this big blockage essentially to my enjoyment of video games for a few years. So I had to play it and see how it was. And while I was not impressed with my own experience, I know that that was pretty isolated. But I wanted people to make sure that they know that, I had issues with it. And if anyone else had issues with it, they have that as proof. Haven't really commented on what my opponent did. I'm basically just struggling to survive right now. Seems like he's got a lot of ways to remove my creatures, so fighting for the field lane I think is going to be essential here, but it's also going to be very hard. And I'm not going to play out my whole hand. I'm just going to play small cards at a time. So Pact Shield Bearer to counter the Barrow Stalker here. Flame Spear Dragon, okay. Oh, that's tough to deal with. I'll have to get a Fell the Mighty for that. I think I technically could kill it though with 2 Pact Oathmen, but then that would leave me with just a Bruma Armorer and a Barrow Stalker. So, don't quite know what to do there. I suppose we could do a Blackwood Distiller and then just 1 Pact Oathman. Then I could threaten to kill with the Blackwood Distiller. Seems fine to me. Could have played a Barrow Stalker first as well. That way I could have had a guard to counter this, but oh well. So I believe he's debating on whether or not he wants to break my rune, which is a decent debate to have. There's the Among Us stone. Of course he rolls lethal. Ooh. Uh, when your opponent summons a creature, aims at it at the start of your turn. Okay, so I can play this. Good. Good. So we'll do that. Gain some extra magicka here. I'll lay down the Barrow Stalker. Playing Bruma Armorer first doesn't matter because it's going to die anyway. And now I'll play the Armorer and the Dunmer. We'll wind up with a 3/6 Hive Defender without the guard.
Should have been more.
Lethal, of course. I mean, Green Pact Ambusher doesn't really stop this because it can go through guards. If anyone doesn't know, Blood Dragon ignores guards and it may attack creatures in any lane. So it kind of breaks the conventions of legends all across the board. I like Blood Dragon though. I think it's really a cool card. Hmm. I could kill this right now. I think that's what I'll do. I'll lay down the Ambusher, get the buff, and then I'll go like that. So I'm not in a position that I like at all, is the problem here. We're down 2 Pact Oathmen. I forget what he mummified. He's got his own Gortwog. He keeps rolling lethal on everything. That is so obnoxious. Dishnik Archer really helps me out here. Goodbye. And I kind of have to hit him a little bit. I have to commit to something. Nice. It's a great thing to summon. And there is the Devil card. Okay, so our opponent has a pretty good board state going on. The only way that Black Marsh Centurion can possibly survive is if we play him against Nahag Leave. So we'll kill the Dishnik Archer against Nahag Leave. That way Gortwog doesn't get to just kill him and then regen. And yeah, gives us something to hope for. Oh, okay. Double Hackwing Feather. That is basically lethal. I'm sure he has some kind of item that he can strap onto one of these strapping gentlemen. There's Supreme Dragon. This guy is ticking all the boxes. Okay. So he has 15 damage over here and 15 damage, I mean, more than 15 damage over here, so I can't win either way. I just have to hope for a prophecy. I think the best move is Red Brahmin over here. That way it stops him from summoning something else. And I'll hit him, put the guard up. So we'll see what we can do. I'd like to hide the Forerunners of the Pact in my hand. That way, if I do get the pleasure of drawing a Mournhold Taskmaster, yeah, okay, he wins. So, not much that could have been done there, but good game nonetheless. Okay, we're up against Pavon 1S. Pavon, Pavonus? Pavonus? Is maybe what he's going for? Pavinus? A lot of different ways that you could pronounce that depending on where you enunciate the vowel. So far, our hand is looking okay. Green Pact has, oh, okay, we're up against Monk. I don't know if I've told you guys, Monk disturbs me. I'll keep Gortwog. Might not be the right move, but I'll keep him. Yeah, Monk really disturbs me. I don't like how many creatures. We were just talking about Supreme Dragon, but that's kind of a one creature thing. Um, Monk defies the rules of the game entirely with moving creatures throughout lanes and like these guys do. Uh, Another friendly creature ignores guard this turn, so they really just mess with my brain whenever I play, and I don't appreciate it. Fel the Mighty will basically only be useful against the Quinral burglars that are likely in his deck. But yeah, there you go. Shadow Shift goes right on over. And the Ring of Lordship, so he's got to be a Khajiit-based deck. Really nothing going on here in terms of our hand. Uh, I suppose a Green Pact Ambusher just to kill this thing, get it over with, but we don't really have a whole lot. Thorn Hist Mage next turn or Yorin is my best play. Okay, seems like a wild use of that. I'm going to go for the Barrow Stalker here and then the Pact Oathman. I'm going to play him in the field lane, that way he can't shift anything. And we'll kill that. Move on with our life. Bandari Opportun... Oh god, Bandari Opportunists for 0. 2 Fel the Mighties. This is definitely not losing, but it's not winning. We'll gain a little bit more health, which might not be the right move because we want him to be penalized for hitting us. I'll play the Thornhist Mage in the field lane because of the Shadow Shift type cards. And then probably Bruma into Yorin.
There is murder in the air.
What are we going after?
Wow. Unicorn. Is that creatures that cost less? Less power. Okay. Well, we'll play the Bruma Armorer and Yorin the Skald King. We do have the Mournhold Taskmaster in our back pocket. And then what is this? The Unicorn friendly creatures in this lane with less power than Unicorn have charge. Okay. I'm really not too concerned. I feel like I should be more concerned, but I'm not. We'll go like this. And we'll have to kill our armorer off, so we'll get some value for him by playing Gortwog. Kill that. And while our opponent does have more health than us, we do have a better board. I think with the Ring of Lordship gone, now he doesn't get that bonus anymore. How many cards is this guy on? There's my own Ungolem. Kill that. Definitely want to provide guards in both lanes here. So Treeminder over here with the Mournhold Taskmaster and the Black Marsh Centurion. And I think we're doing fine. If he could somehow find a way to kill one of my creatures, that would be great too, because... Yeah, because Gortwog would summon something. Getting Brynjolf down, we can Fel the Mighty onto him. He may have realized what I was trying to do with Gortwog. Fel the Mighty, and then Histgrove and Yorin's Vanguard. We'll play like so, like so, like so. Okay, good game. We're up against another monk deck. It's an Imperial Guest. They're the Imperial Grand Tactician as well. I'm okay with that opening hand. It's not anything too great, but it's not anything awful. Scouts report right out the gate. I will discard that. Reason being, the
The mage's guild.
oh, I don't even know what it's called. The
This one will never forget.
5 cost Tamriel collection. Um,
What have we here?
that card that can pull that back from the discard pile.
Give no quarter.
This one can be counted upon.
Okay, so this guy's definitely on more of a Khajiit-based thing. We want to provide threats as quickly as possible. Ald Valathi can kill that big guard, and I'm not going to waste my time attacking with the Thieves Guild recruit. He probably has a move card already, be it a Dune Smuggler or Shadow Shift. Um, so we just need to be wary about that. And Sute Bootlegger. This is one of those giant Khajiits, right? The Sute?
Nothing can stop Khajiit.
Give no quarter.
Okay. Not exactly what I would have done, but maybe he has a... Okay, he has a plan. Yeah, I think getting the Blackwood Distiller down now is good. And we can play like this. That way it threatens killing something and gaining some max magicka. Although I wouldn't mind hitting face, that way I'd have 8 magicka to play with next turn. He's got 5. There's a few things that could be. That's one of them, but it's not what I was thinking.
Do not travel this one.
He just did exactly what I wanted him to. So we'll gain a little bit of magicka. Just a wee bit. Mournhold Taskmaster, I don't have a veteran creature currently. So I think probably my best move is... I actually don't know what my best move is. Maybe Galen? Um, Galen onto some green packed ambushers to throw more into my deck. And I could even do... I could do a green pact now. That would drop this thing down a little bit. I think that's an okay plan. It's not my favorite thing because he can just swing in like this, but if he messes up, that's the idea. And hopefully we'll draw some kind of a veteran creature on our next turn. Shadow shifting him over. Probably spends one of his attacks to kill that, yeah. This guy's on a 100 card deck. I didn't see that before. So there's the Pact Outcast I was discussing. You know what's really cool about Pact Outcast here? I'll show you what's really cool about Pact Outcast here. So we'll do that. Invoker of the Hist. We'll get all of our magicka back. We'll play a Bruma Armorer, and then a Mournhold Taskmaster, and kill that. We won't be able to consume anything else, but we basically cleaned up that lane. Probably swings like this, draws himself a card. All is not lost, though. Does have a 12 health total on us. Health lead, I suppose. Health total lead. Another thing that he could do is swing into me. Okay, he does have this as well, which is problematic. Okay. Another Mournhold Taskmaster. Man, I would love to have this Barrowstalker actually stay alive. That'd be great. So the plan here is this, and if Barrowstalker here, if he Shadow Shifts over, we have a lethal creature waiting for him. And we also have another Mournhold Taskmaster, the Dunmer Tyro. think my game just froze. Okay, we're good. We're back. Territorial Viper probably onto that, and then he Shadow Shifts it over.
Time to move.
Yeah, or whatever. We have the Dunmer, though, so we're good.
Fine. Khajiit will go through you.
Ooh, Dunmer with High Hrothgar, too. That's huge. Plus, he's playing Monk, so he shouldn't have a way to deal with that. Ooh. Okay, High Hrothgar first. The thing about the Black Marsh Centurion is that it does kill this instantly. Yeah, wait, why would I not play that? That wouldn't make any sense. Oh, and it's a 10-10, that's right. How much damage do I have? 15, 20. Okay, not enough.
Wrong place for a midnight
Gain a little bit of
stroll.
health, and then we'll hold off. We could win pretty quickly here, though, if he doesn't put down a guard or
This
something.
one offers something tasty.
Okay, that's not really going to be enough to do anything. So we've got 20 damage on board, plus this would be 26. If we don't hit any prophecies, we win. 10, 14, 11, 6. Let's just look for something in case. All right, cool. Good game. Another win that kind of came out of nowhere, but really fun win. Okay, you know what? I don't think that I can end on a higher note than that, so thank you guys for sticking it out this long. This one should be a bit longer of a video than I've been making in the past. Um, I'm not sure exactly how long. I don't have the time up, but I think it's on the longer end of things. So hope you guys enjoy the whole thing. There were some really fun matches, specifically towards the end, that I really had a fun time with. Um, yeah, I took a break. I had to go have a social life for a little bit, and then I had to come back. So I recorded this. Let's see, it is September 3rd, 2nd. It's only the 2nd. I recorded the first part on September 1st, and then the other matches on in the morning here, or noon of September 2nd, where I'm at. So that's kind of what we're up to. Um, yeah, I made an update recently on different types of decks that you guys would want to see. So this veteran deck was the one that won the poll, but it was pretty close. Some people were interested in the mono intelligence as well, so I'll have that video up sometime soon. I've also got some plans to do some Elder Scrolls Online content, which I know some of you said that you'd be interested in. Some of you said you wouldn't really be interested in, but I want to start going in the direction of making content for multiple games. So the Legend stuff will definitely still be around. It's just, it's going to be interspliced, and it'll be the more consistent on the channel, I'm sure. So going forward, that's the plan. Thank you guys once more, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. So peace out.